Good evening, everybody. This is Ezra, the RM King Trader, and this evening I'm going to be talking about the kinds of traders that we have and their time frame choices. All right. Before we go, you should try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification button so that you will be notified when new videos dropped. Also, you can watch my video on demand zones and then entries. Those videos will help you to be able to take your trades perfectly, at least to an extent. Okay, I will also add the link to the community group into the description box. If you want to be part of the community, you can join through the Telegram link. All right, there are basically four kinds of traders. And the first kind of trader is a scalper. The second kind of traders are day traders. The third kind of traders are swing traders. And the last kind of trader is position traders. All of them have their peculiarities. They have what they intend on doing. Before you become, very profitable, you need to know the kind of traders you are. Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Are you a swinger? Are you a position trader? Now, what does it mean to be a scalper? Scalper, those traders that scalps, they just seek to take profit off the market for a few seconds or for a few minutes, and then they are done on that positions. That's just basically the scalper's responsibility. The day traders, they decide on based on daily time frame, the bias of the market, and then using that to take trade. And as soon as the day is getting over, they might decide to close their trade. They don't really extend their trade beyond 1 day. So the third kind of trader are swing traders. These guys have the tendency and the capacity to hold trades for days, for weeks, even for months, depending on the kind of entries they've got. So the reason why we call them swing traders is because they have the ability to hold trades for days, weeks, and months, basically. So now the last kind of trader that we have on this is position traders. These position traders are basically, I can call them investors. They can decide to hold their trades for a year and not, fidget on it. They are just investors focusing on long-term perspective of the market. So they are not really moved by all the noises in the market. What they need is the long-time bias of the market. So they have the capacity to hold trades for, months, 1 year, 2 years upward. They have the tendency of holding that. I believe you understand the kind of traders that we have, especially by my explanations. Now, let me do justice to how they tend to interpret the market using time frames. If you're a scalper, maybe you're a trader, you want to become a scalper, you like taking trades often and all that, you would like to use your H1 often. You should be friend to your H1. Sometimes some persons will recommend H4. There's nothing wrong there. It's very good. You can use that. But then H1, most of the scalpers that I know, because I'm not a scalper, I'm a swing trader, most of the scalpers that I know, they like using H1 often. So if you are a scalper, you use H1 or H4 as your structural time frame. You analyze structure on those time frames. Then you go to 15 minutes to see probably what the price is saying on 15 minutes. I'm going to maybe try to demonstrate what I'm trying to explain. So you check what price is doing on 15 minutes, and then by the time you check that, then you can decide, okay, let me go on 5 minutes for confirmation entry. So when you see your confirmation on 5 minutes or 1 minute, you might decide to take the trade. So that's how scalpers operate. So within few minutes, they are done with that position, and then they look for other opportunities. Okay, for day traders, basically these guys focus more on day structure, the daily structure. So when you go into the market, they try to check out the daily structure. what is the structure on daily saying. So when they check, okay, what's the bias on the daily? Is the market buying? Is the market selling? So what they do is they pick a position. Okay, the market is buying. So today will be more of a buy. So they go to H1, see what price is doing for certainty and others, considering structure and other things. And then they go to 5 minutes within the demand zone from daily. They will wait for, the normal entry criteria for confirmation entry. So they will take their trade using that. And by the time a day is over, they're already, done with that position. I think that's for day traders. Now, for swing traders, I'm mentioning the time frames they use so that you can be able to understand their operations. Now, for swing traders, majorly, swing traders also use daily for structure, but then majorly, for me, I prefer using weekly for structure. So I'll go to weekly time frame. I'm personalizing it because I'm a swing trader. I'm going to go to the weekly time frame. What is the structure of the market? Is the structure of the market telling me to buy? If the structure of the market is telling me to sell, I know what I'm looking for. So I will mark my demand zone based on weekly. So I wait for price to get to the weekly zones, demand or supply zones, anyone, depending on what the market is saying. So I will check on daily too to see what is the price movement and other candle formations on daily time frame. And then my entry time frame majorly, I use H4 and H1. And the reason why I use H4 and H1 is that sometimes structure might have broken on H1. On H1. And then on H4, it seems as though it's just weak out. Those kind of trades are dangerous to take. So I consider H4 and H1 for my entry. If structure break on H4 and it doesn't break on H1, I don't consider it majorly. I don't consider it. Structure must break on both H1 and H4 before I can consider that trade a go. So I think that's that about the swing traders. Position traders majorly use monthly and above for structure. Monthly and above. They have to wait long, and when they get the trade, they take it for long. And then these ones have more patience than any of these ones. So they wait for longs. They go to weekly to confirm their positions. Okay, what is price saying? And then obviously by the time they get break of structure and retest on either H4 or daily, they are cool, and then they take their trade, and then boom, they are going. So these are just the basic, time frame selections. Some places might have other better, kind of stuff, but this one is personal. It's based on my own studies. I've tried it, I've checked it, and it works. For stress, I don't really use more than 2 time frames. Basically, I don't use more than 2 time frames. For scalpers, H1 for structure, M5 for entry. I don't use more than that. For day trader, that's my own personal stuff. I check on daily for structure. My entry is H1. That's how I do my stuff. Then for swingers, weekly for structure, H4 for entry. Finish. Then position traders, I'm not a position trader, so I might not be able to talk much on that. But I think for me, if I'm a position trader, I will use monthly for structure, and then my entry will just be weekly. So that's what I do. I don't do more than that. That's exactly the way I take my trade. I believe this is understood to an extent. So let's go to the chart and let me show you a few things. Since Trading View doesn't have more than daily, that's the free Trading View, not the premium one. They don't have more than daily, so I'm going to be using daily as an example. As you know that daily structure is for day traders, basically. You can use it to swing also, but then I just for day traders. So let's go to the chart. All right. This is the chart on daily. You look for your demand zones and then you take them appropriately. Now look at this. This is my BOS. Like I always tell you, the first thing to do is mark your structure. This was the high, the last high I saw here. I've always told us, always do this. Always mark your range. That's your highs and your obvious low. So this is the recent low around here. So let's see what price did. Now what you do is, the next thing is pick your fib. I told you to be able to refine your zones, to be able to check, okay, which zones are the premium zones. You pick your fib. All right, amazing. So I have this zone at the premium level. This is a zone at the premium level. Wow. And then this is another zone at the premium level, which is all these are supply zones. Areas where you look to sell is a supply what zone. So I saw this. This is a place before this retracement occurred. This is a zone that I'll be considering. Although this one is also a good zone, but I will not be considering it. There are reasons why I will not consider that, but I don't think I will talk about that on this video. Maybe in the next videos we can be talking about all this. So after putting my fib, I look for premium areas to take my trades from. So these are the two. This one is not part of it. So those are the two. I actually took this trade, so I'm just using it as an example so that you can be able to understand what I'm saying. Now, okay, let me delete my fib. So these are the two zones I will be looking for. Remember, this is 24 hours. It means you're a day trader. You want to use 24 hours to catch trade. For me, what I'll do is I'll go to H1 for confirmation and entry. I don't use more than 2 time frames. Basically, I don't need to stress you. That's just what you need to know. No point, trying to make things out of what is not. So let's see what happens within those zones, whether we can be able to see entry or we didn't have entry. All right. So let's go. Let's hope this shows. All right. Let's hope it shows. It's far. All right. Okay. All right. So this is the zone where price came to. All right. So that's the zone we were looking for price to get to, and then we will be looking for H1, entry. Now, you need to be observant. I told you there are two things I consider in the market to make a zone valid. First of all, a fair value gap must be around that place, and second of all, it must clear liquidity. So where did this price break structure? This was the last low. This was where price broke structure. All these ones here are internal liquidity. Well, I've not spoken about liquidity on this video. I don't know whether I will speak about it, but then we will find a way to do something about how to understand how price works. So BOS happened around here. So let's see what we can get. BOS happened there on H1. So we have our BOS here. And then what we are waiting for is that price come to our supply zone on this lower time frame. Very simple. So you mark this order block that people call, order block. This is my own supply zones. Like I told you in the video on supply and demand zones, that any zone that you are looking to sell from is a supply zone. Any zone you are looking to buy from is what? A demand zone. So now this is where I'm waiting for price to come into so that I can start selling. You see, some persons, because they don't want to miss out, would have entered around here. For me, it's not my kind of stuff. I don't care. So I wait for these two lines. In between these two lines is where I want to take my trade from. You would notice that price came back into it. And since then, it sold. I sold this for a very long time. Not caring about what is happening. I sold. Let's go back to daily. This is my entry. I got an entry here. So I'll go back to daily. Where will I take my profit? I don't want to stress you. You need to just understand this kind of thing. This is how, they trade. Yeah, anybody that is a day trader, this is how basically I will trade it. Not don't let me say these are the trade, because some of them have a different approach to the market. So this is where I would have entered. This low is where I would have been targeting for my TP. This low here, and you see how many days it took. You see, for swing, this is a swing trade, but then you don't necessarily have to hold it this long if you are using H1. So your H1 target, I'll go there and show you. But for me, I would have looked at the overall move. Sometimes price might not get to this TP. So don't deceive yourself. If you are entering on H1, use your H1 structure to take your profit. Very simple. So let's go to H1. I just want all of us to have a better perspective to what market is always doing and how these time frames work. This is just basically time frame alignment. I want you to be able to get the best out of it. It's that simple. That's simple. No gimmicks. All right. So let me show you. All right. Now this was the last low before price started retracing back to where we took our trade from. This was the last low here. So this low is where some persons would have been entering here because of this lower time frame and a lot of imbalance here. This would have been considered for me as inducement. A lot of support and resistance people are trying to, do something around here. Previous, a lot of things happening around here. So I will not consider it. Imbalance are still above and that and that. So I will not be considering that. So now price came here. My TP, first TP will be here. So I would have taken TP here and allow the rest just continue running. So that's just how to take trade based on this time frame. So let me use okay, all right. So let me use this so that people will not be asking me this. I've explained daily. So let's use H1 also for scalpers. For those that like to scalp, now let me delete this. Now this is BOS. Like I said before, and I pointed out, this is BOS here. This is my BOS. Now I know some of you might be asking. For me, I use week to body. Anyway, so now that's the BOS, and then I'm looking for price to come to this place. Watch that line. All right, that's the line. It will not show. It will not show on lower time frame, but I can tell you where it broke structure here, so that you will not be stressed. Yeah, I can tell you where it broke structure and now it retested on 5 minutes. Sorry, on 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Somehow you would have seen this structure broke here. This is where it broke, but I'm just using it. I would have gone to M5, but it will not show. This is far price. So this is where it broke structure here. So we will be waiting for this zone here to enter around here. So it's the same thing over and over. So you would have entered this trade using 5 minutes if you are using H1 as structure. So let me go. Let me find a clear picture. So let's go to recent price. Let me find a clear picture so that you can be able to relate with it. So that you can be able to relate with it. Sometimes price might not break. Price might not show you, what you needed at the particular time. All right. Let me go more recent. Let me go to more recent price action. All right. I hope we can get that. Okay. All right. Amazing. Okay. I'm looking for opportunities in the market that are clear and clean. Sometimes you might not see what you are looking for in the market. If you don't see what you are looking for, you are light. Just allow price do whatever it wants to do and get out. All right. So there's nothing clear recently, but it always give it. It always give that. It always gives that. All right. I'm looking for break of structure and retest. Just on recent price actions. On H1. Yeah. I'm not seeing this. All right. Okay. Let me use this as something spectacular. This was it might not give you an entry, but this is a good supply zone to trade off. Now, what happened is when price gets here, I will go to M15 or M30. Now, on boom and crash, the way it occurs is different. I'm going to go to other asset to show you what happens and then how to see the market and others. So please just stay calm and follow the process. Don't rush yourself. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. So don't confuse yourself. It's not that hard. All right. On this one, we didn't have a good entry. So you don't need to stress yourself. Just allow yourself. Allow it. So this was a break of structure. It didn't even get to our zone. This is where it gets to our zone, and it did not give us good entry. So there are other things. If you want to know how to track this price, go and watch my video on micro and macro structure. It is in the channel. Watch it, you will get it clearly. Macro and micro structure is very clear. So if this is not retested and price continued like that, there are ways to take advantage of this trade without causing any issue. All right. So let me go to VIX asset so that you will not say, okay, I'm using only boom and crash and others, and let's go to VIX asset. Let me use VIX 10, or preferably let me use VIX 75. Let me use VIX 75 so that most of us will be able to relate with what I'm saying. All right, no stress. Who did this? Okay, did I do anything on this? Why is it not showing? All right, sorry, please. Okay, so that's just that. When you want to trade, just make sure your time frame you get it right. You get it right. If you are interested in the mentorship, it's fine. You can go to the general community and chat with any of the admin there. They will direct you on how to join the mentorship. There are other things that will be treated, but then for now, let's just use this free resource and then benefit from it. This alone is enough to make you profitable. No joke. It's that simple. It's not that hard. But we have other ways we look at the market and then we trade off the market. All right. Now, this is daily. Forget the H1 sign you are seeing there. This is daily time frame. I want to show you something very important. Now, most of the time, we overlook certain zones. I'm in this cell currently, the V75 cell. This is a very clear zone, a very good zone. A very good zone to sell off. That's a very good supply zone. Now, what I do when price get to this supply zone, there are a lot of supply zones. Most of them might not give you confirmation. You will lose your money if you do not get this, what people call reaccumulation and redistribution, Y-curves and others. If you don't get those kind of confirmations, you might struggle. You might be stopped out often. You understand? And although there are some ways we in the mentorship work around, the confirmation stuff, but then, for those of you that are learning this, you should wait for confirmation. So now what I do is I'll go to H1 like I used to do, just the same thing over and over, no stress. I wait for break of structure and retest around that zone. You don't need to stress yourself. You don't need to think much. You don't need to do anything. Just wait for break of structure and retest. Everybody thought this one broke structure. It did not break. But then see this. This is a move, a clear move to break structure to the downside was here. See this place. This was where structure broke to the downside. I think I will zoom in a little bit so that you can see it. Did you see? So this was a high, a low, a higher high. Structure broke down. Very simple. Simple stuff. Well, there are a lot of things you need to know, but then I'm just trying to mark things out. This place is a good place to enter. You take your trade from this zone, and then boom, price continued selling. No stress, no stress, no stress. Just the same thing over and over. There is no stress there. Don't allow anybody to stress you. The same thing over and over. And when you entered here, your TP would have been here. You would have taken TP off this zone. Here like this, your TP is over. Before this nonsense retracement begin to come back to you. Very simple. No hard. Oh, you should learn this. Just learn this. You are going to enjoy Forex for yourself. It's the same thing over and over. When you go to daily, see, mark your zone, wait for confirmation on H1. Very simple. If it is weekly you are using, wait for confirmation and entry on H4. It is simpler. Yeah, you can use lower time frame. That's if you have the time. But I don't have the time. I'm a swing trader. So this, I just pick 2 time frames for myself, and then this is what I do. So I'm not telling you a lot of things out there do not work, but just to make things simple for yourself, and then don't focus on it. I got this trade. I think I sniped it. I entered here. I also entered another position here. So I have like 2 positions running on this asset. So I will not confuse you with a lot of things, but just know that this thing works. No joke. On any asset, what I've taught you works perfectly fine. All right. I think some of us, we want us to look at maybe few more assets, this one. If you don't see confirmation, for safety, don't enter, except for certain reasons. Some of us in the mentorship have learned how to, maneuver around confirmation entry and others. But then if you have not learned that, don't do that. Always wait for confirmation. You need to do that. So try as much as possible to do that. Now, I will encourage you to like the video. Please try as much as possible to like the video, subscribe to the channel, so that I will be dropping contents. From now, I will make sure maybe, except for the break I will have towards the end, I'm going to be posting videos, educational videos based on requests and other things. So try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel, like the video, so that you can allow others to benefit from the educational materials resource that is on this channel. All right, so I'm going to stop here. I can go on and on to look for, you know, other assets and how it operates, but this is just basically when people are shouting Wyckoff is playing prim, they are marking their zones. Me, I'm just waiting for break of structure and retest. This is how simple it is. Wyckoff is okay, it's fine, you can see it, especially if you have a site for it. But then this is just how simple I take price. If I didn't see this kind of move, I'm not interested. I will just stay off the market. So the video is very resourceful. Watch it from demand zone. You can watch demand zone, watch entries, then watch this time frame alignment. Watch it, and then you can watch my micro and macro structure. Combine all these together. Alone, you are awesome. You are awesome. Then you need to learn liquidity somehow. But then, for now, this is where I will stop. Cheers, and God bless you.